नहीं तो दिख जाएंगे सर, अलग से उनका ऑरा ही ऐसा है, ठीक है। लेकिन आप लोग एक तरफ चेयर डायरेक्शन करके बैठो।
अब ठीक है,
जैसे सर बैठे हैं। Hi everybody, welcome to Bullsmart Stock Academy. You already know it's Friday, so it's another episode of Inside Bullsmart series. Today we have a very special guest with us. I wanted him to be on our very first episode since he's the legal head of the Bullsmart, but his deadlines, his appointments, lot of requests were needed to bring him on this series. So finally we have the legal counsel of Bullsmart, Mr. Chandan. So before we start, I would just like to give a little overview. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot to introduce our legal associate, Charchita, as well. You already know her from her previous podcasts. And of course, yeah. So let's get back to a little introduction of Chandan sir. So Chandan sir belongs from Sirsi, that is the rural part of Karnataka, and he's now settled in Bangalore. He is a CS and a legal professional who has expertise in various corporates and companies like FEMA, IBC, M&A, and he also carries handful experience and knowledge in compliance and regulations of various authorities in India, such as RBI, FEMA, and ROC. So when I was giving the introduction, I know the first thing that struck your mind would have been a legal associate and a legal head in a finance company. That might be the most boring job in the world. But trust me, guys, these both know how to party. These both are one of the biggest entertainment factors of Bullsmart. So enough from my side. I would like to give the mic to Chandan sir. Sir, a brief introduction about how you would like to introduce yourself to our audience.
Thanks, Shivangi. Thanks for the brief introduction. Just to introduce about myself, as you said, I'm a qualified company secretary from the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. Then Management Act, SEBI regulations, and other various corporate laws like labor laws and other stuff. So yeah, I have around 10 years of experience. That's about my work and experience and my qualification. Chachita, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes,
Please
once
introduce.
again.
Actually, I have introduced myself. The only thing is like he has got the Global Mentor Award. So yeah, he's my boss and I'm happy.
Which is why Charchita is here. So she'll also give the inside secrets of Chandan sir that he might not reveal, but we have the biggest gossip of Bullsmart right here with us. So okay, coming back to sir. So starting with a very basic question, when did you decide that you want to be a lawyer and you want to contribute?
After my BCom graduation, I joined Hewlett Packard as a finance associate, and I worked for 1.5 years. That time, I thought, okay, it's better to continue the education rather than continuing with a job.
Okay.
So that time, I decided let's go out with the CS profession. Then I took a CS profession, and within a 2.5 years, I cleared my CS profession. Then I took my LLB course as well.
Okay.
So after joining my CS training and after completing my CS, I joined one of the Italian-based construction company as a company secretary, and I was handling India as well as their group subsidiaries, Asia Pacific group subsidiaries, entire CS and legal matters. So yeah, that time it popped up in my mind. Anyway, I'm handling CS and legal activities. Let's add one more, qualification which may help in my career perspective as well as knowledge perspective. So I took my LLB course as well that time. Yeah.
So sir, was it easy doing CS and then all these qualifications?
So it's not about easy or tough. How much interest you have in the any course or a qualification. Whenever you have an interest, it doesn't matter whether it's tough or easy. You will automatically get a way to clear or get a way to pass through those
Right.
courses. Yeah.
So any advice for associates like Charchita who've been looking, for guidance and mentorship in the same field? Of course, you're her role model. She
Yeah,
wants to
absolutely. If again she wants to continue the corporate side, then whatever labor law certification or a cyber security certification or any specialization in a data privacy these things may help her. But if she wants, being a law graduate, if she wants to get into practice, then maybe a litigation or a arbitration side may help her out. So it depends on what kind of a career she want to pursue.
Ma'am, please take notes.
Yeah.
You should have brought your notepad here today. So this is like 101 mentorship lesson that you're getting right here live. So again, so coming back to Bullsmart. So as a legal head of a finance company, that is Bullsmart, what does your day, every day look like? What are your primary responsibilities here? And
Yeah,
do you like it?
as you know, Bullsmart is a fintech company. It's a startup.
Right.
So there are a lot of activities which are happening day in day out. So when you say a legal department, normally we have to keep on updating on the various regulations which is issued by the various regulators, which is applicable to fintech industries. So yeah, one thing is updating ourselves about the ever-changing regulations. Second thing, day-to-day agreements, contracts with various vendors, service providers, liaising with various government departments, regulators. Those are the day-to-day activities which we handle in our legal department. And one more thing is maybe compliance or operations. Whenever the new circular comes, they may need our help on interpretation of certain aspects. So we do provide those kind of interpretation, and will make their life easy to some extent possible. Yeah.
So last day when I was speaking to you about your aspirations, you said you want to carry forward your path with corporate law. So what is the difference between corporate law
See,
and regular
corporate
legal?
law, when you say when you carry out business, it depends on what kind of business you are carrying out and what kind of industry you are into. In fintech industries, again, there are three regulators. If you are on a lending or anything related to payment side, you will be regulated by RBI. If you are on a security market side, you will be regulated by SEBI, or if you are on an insurance side, you will be regulated by IRDA. So it depends for corporates which segment they are into and what kind of industry they are into. If it's a manufacturing company, then Factories Act and all these things will be applicable. But when it comes to normal law practice, again, litigations, family laws, or these kind of civil laws, these kind of things will be applicable. So that's the main difference. When I say corporate law, so mainly the regulations, various regulations which is applicable to the companies or industry which you are into.
So these are very heavy terms that you just used. So we might have to break them down later for our audience to make them, to make the introduction a little simpler. But I also want to know that since you're the core member of Bullsmart also, you've been here since day one, since the company started. So what was the contribution of legal department in the overall building of Bullsmart strategy and everything?
See, as I said earlier, Bullsmart is a fintech startup. So when you say fintech startup, you will be regulated by one of the regulator, either SEBI or RBI. So the industry which we are into, we will be regulated by SEBI. So from the
SEBI is
Security Exchange Board of India. So when you say you are regulated by SEBI, then when you say fintech startup, there are various activities from the day one. You have to apply for various approvals. You have to take a registration from various authorities. Then there will be various vendor support. You need to build your website, apps, and to provide a platform, investment platform. You have to integrate with various software vendors. So yeah, from day one, from a legal side, the contribution is like, first of all, getting an approval from various regulatory authorities, liaising with the approval authorities, then liaising with various vendors, negotiation with the vendors for various terms and conditions. Those are the activities. That's the contribution from legal side. Yeah.
so everything, all the tasks that you just mentioned, how many of them the contributions from the associate comes?
How much, whatever contribution I have done, I would say a similar contribution she has also done.
No gossip we are getting here, sir. You have to be transparent here with our
No,
audience.
absolutely. From the she joined before me. I think 2 weeks before, prior to me, she joined this Bullsmart. So Yeah, from the day one, she supported me in whatever assignment or whatever task I've given. So
And you want to add something here for your mentor about all the tasks and responsibilities that he takes, and also, alongside teaches you and asks you to help.
Yes, actually, like I joined Bullsmart on 4th July. So, and Chandan joined on 18th July, I guess. So, this 2 weeks were like very difficult for me to even like start because I was from the litigation side.
Okay.
And then jumping into the corporate side, I found like something I'm not getting. And I was literally, I was asking, I need my boss, I need my boss. Then Chandan appeared, and like it was all mentor thing I got, and all the ideas and how to like break your things and then start moving ahead with your things. And I guess that was the biggest challenge I faced in Booksmart because like even we had some vendors also, but they were not giving direct support.
Okay.
So yeah, that was the time, and now it's literally, I guess, we have a best team award we have received, and I'm happy like because I have got the direct mentorship. That
Right.
there is no one between. Like there's a direct communication that makes the work easy, and I think this communication thing has made legal team strong with their completing tasks and giving
Right.
information.
Okay. So my next question is for both of you. So Bullsmart startup is all about innovation and solving money challenges for millennials and Gen Zs, right? So it's 90% based on innovation and creativity, where we are providing solutions to them that are still that they are not familiar with. So we are also taking financial literacy with us. And from a marketing and from a content perspective, every time we are putting out content, we have to be innovative, we have to stand apart from what everybody else is doing in the finance industry. But of course there is certain code of conduct and legal compliances issued by the legal team to us, which we have to stick to for ethical practices, of course. So do you think that with your desire from going forward with the legal, the innovation and creativity takes a backseat? I don't think that both of them can move forward together.
no, both of them can move forward, but as I said, fintech industries are highly regulated. So your registration and your valid registration to carry out a business is a utmost important task.
Right.
So just for one marketing activity or just for promotion sake, we cannot risk our registration or a license. So that's the main thing. And if you see last year, the SEBI has revoked so many stockbrokers and other intermediaries, license or registration certificates. So we don't want to take that risk. So that's the reason why we have given a clear, instruction or a clear advice on this part. So don't take it otherwise.
So our audience who constantly gives us the feedback that why are we not making spicy content, you look at these faces, they are the reasons that we are bound with all the laws and regulations and compliances. But then again, as Chandan sir said, these are all very necessary if we have to move ahead. We have to be compliant enough under these regulatory practices. So sir, as you talked about all these, I'm sure when you were getting started, there would have been many challenges because, as far as I know, we have more competitors in finance industry than people know of, right? So, what were the primary challenges that you faced, and you thought, maybe I don't think we can go ahead of this, but then we overcome those challenges?
One thing being a startup, fundraising is one
Right.
very big challenge, and nowadays the fund crunch is happening everywhere because of global recession and all these things.
Right.
So one good thing is that for now we are sufficiently funded by our promoters, and we don't have any issue with the fundraising activities. So for now, initial activity whatever required, we have enough funding. So that's one advantage for us. But again, when it comes to the challenge, you are again a startup. People may not join immediately because of trust factor and whatever
Right.
happening in the market. So many people will back off, and hiring a right talent, getting them on time is a main challenge over here. So I think initial stage we faced those challenges, but right now I don't think that challenges existed. So to some extent we have overcome those challenges.
Right. So this question is again for both of you, but I want you to answer when you were joining from a fresher point of view, and sir was already very experienced when he joined Bullsmart. So both of you already knew that finance and whatever we are dealing with, it's a very volatile market also. So there's a 50-50% chance that the idea might work or may not work, right? So I would start with a fresher's perspective, that what was the first thought that struck your mind when you were asked to join Bullsmart?
So like when the HR told me about my job description and about the company thing, so I felt like very excited because it was a semi-regulated fintech company. So it was a challenging thing for me because till date I just read all those rules, regulations, and just like okay, the legal are supposed to do these things and those things, but I didn't had that opportunity to actually go into that.
Okay.
So that excited me a lot, like the like giving being into a room where all the regulation, you're filled with regulation, rules, books, and everything. So that was the thing that excited me.
Okay.
And the rest is like all the companies act which I have read already before, but the little this practical exposure I was getting. So that was the thing. Like yeah, this I can do that and with the help of my mentor.
So her response is that because she thought this is a very new opportunity and she wanted exposure also, so it was very exciting for her. But you already had the exposure, you already had the experience. So why did you, like, what was the first thought?
Yeah, see, when you see my career, I joined well-established companies. I worked with
Right.
well-established companies earlier. So it was a construction and real estate site. So I worked there for 6, 7, 8 years. So I thought, okay, let's change the industry and let's explore fintech industry. If you see from last 3, 4 years in India, there are a lot of fintech companies which is evolving. So and it's a booming industry as well. So I thought, okay, there will be challenges, there will be a lot of learning for me, and a change in industry as well. So that's the reason why I took this opportunity. Being a startup, yes, there will be always a risk when you come from a well-established company. There will always be in backside of your mind. Always there will be a question whether it's going to work or not. What would be the future? But again, you have to take some risk. Then only you can achieve something. That's what I feel.
So at the pre in the market and they were going good, and then coming to Bullsmart, there might have been a really big transition and really big drift. So working at Bullsmart, some things that you really like that changed for you work-wise.
No, as I said earlier companies were well-established companies. The
Right.
policies, procedures were well set over there, so there was not much challenge. But when it comes to Bullsmart, it was a startup and there were limited resources. We had to set up all the procedures internally, internal policies and everything. One good thing with Bullsmart is we have a great team over here and the work culture is very good. People are very nice and enthusiastic. Whatever challenges you give, they are ready to take up those challenges. That's what I needed for to build a successful
He's
company.
basically saying about all these things, and he came to know like, wow, okay, Charchita Singh is joining, so I should also.
So this is
I agree with Charchita partially.
this is something that I also relate to, because when you work in these big enterprises, you're always bounded with a certain dedicated KRA that is given to
Yeah.
you. You don't get the time to move out of that and explore new things.
Absolutely.
So coming to Bullsmart has also helped me, put my hands on everything, that I'm in content and social media, and then there's marketing perspective. There's on camera side of it, and then there's off camera side of it. And I think working there, we wouldn't have gotten the chance to do all of this, explore this. And another thing that I would like to mention also is the cross culture between the team in Bullsmart. Because we are very less people, first of all, we are very particular about hiring. We only hire people who are innovative, who put prioritize creativity more than what they're looking for forward to. And which is why we are very limited people here, so everybody knows everybody. personally and professionally. So we are very bounded to each other on that level also. And okay, sir. So coming back to some fun segments that I got for you. So these are few questions that we keep receiving for different team members. So we had a poll, and our audience technically asked us to keep these questions for you. So first would be, if you had to choose between being a lawyer or a banker, because both are boring jobs, which one would you choose and why?
Absolutely, lawyer. It's not a boring job. There are a lot of interesting facts about the law profession. So absolutely, it's a lawyer, and that too corporate lawyer.
Right. Okay. So this is one more serious question, and then we'll go back to fun segment again. So this is also, the question was also put by one of our audience. He asks that the finance industry has changed a lot since you began your career in past 7-8 years. So how has this affected your work?
Absolutely. So, if you see from last 5 years mainly, the digitalization and technology has taken over almost all the business models. The traditional business models are almost gone. It's all e-commerce industries or tech-based industries which is ruling the market. So, along with the technology, there comes data privacy and other cyber security related issues or problems. So yes, obviously it will affect legal department as well, legal or a compliance department when it comes to data privacy or cyber security or any other regulations.
Right.
So if you see from last 5 years, the regulation have drastically changed. The regulators are keep on updating their regulations, keep on providing new circulars or new requirements for various industries. So the first person or a first team which will get affected is the legal team, because we have to advise, we have to update ourselves first, and we have to advise the management, various teams. With various teams we have to coordinate. Then things will run smooth. So obviously the legal team is the first team which will have to track all these things.
In a way, you really have to take control of each and every team and everything that happens around in the office.
Not control. We have to sync with each and every team, because at the end we have to run the business also.
Yeah.
It cannot.
You have to see the
uh,
regulation part
yeah,
of
we have
what
to strike
each
a
team
balance
is.
between both the
Right.
teams. We have to make sure one thing: we are compliant on all aspects.
Right.
We are not breaking any rules or a regulation anywhere.
Right.
But as long as we are doing that, we are what you can say, just we have to sync with each
Right.
and every team, and we have to comply with the basic rules and regulations.
Right.
That's the main thing. Yeah.
And sometimes putting hurdles in their credibility so that they get the limelight, okay, legal person are good.
Yeah, so not all the blames are on us. So again, in the last video of the Inside Bullsmart series, we had the marketing head here, brand strategy and marketing head Karthik, and he kind of gave a overview to our audience about the product launch of Bullsmart. So there's one more question that comes is ki, what were like, since now that we are launching the product, I'm sure you're working double now. So what are the challenges now? I mean,
See, when you launch a product or when you go public, you have to be 1,000% sure your app or a website works perfectly fine. There are no technical glitches. There are no laggings. So those things are main things. And second thing, whatever policies, procedures are set by the regulators, those policies and procedures are properly maintained in the process what we follow. So yeah, when we launch our app or a product, or when we provide a service, we have to consider all these aspects. Yes, one thing I can say is our app is very nice, or our platform is very nice. We have a lot of exciting features.
yes.
It's a technology driven. I think investors will enjoy our app, and they enjoy investing as well. Yeah.
So enough about legal side of the story, sir. What about the fun side of you? What does, because there is this proposition, it's a preconceived notion only that lawyers and legal they don't really enjoy most side of the things. But as far as I know you and I know Charchita, both of you have always seen you, making witty jokes and witty comments and always enjoying things. So what about your work-life balance, the after office part, the other fun side of you?
After office part, yeah, I mean, nothing much, as you said, mingling with
Nothing
other
much
team.
is just making it more
He's
believable.
the first person to go for a party.
Hmm.
He only giving ideas, let's go for party.
But then your hobbies, like apart from law,
Hobbies, nothing, I mean, nothing much, as I said. You hardly get, time 9 to 6, 9 to 7, you have to work here. So, and Bangalore traffic, 2 hours you will lose every day. So,
that's just
apart from that, I mean, work in between, in a week, 2 3 days or 4 days, going for a playing badminton and evening mingling with other person.
right.
Since Charchita is here, gossiping, then doing a party. So these are the things, and yeah, it's a fun-filled environment to work with. Yeah.
And Chandan sir is also the root. He'll be the first person to know about any gossip that that occurs in Bullsmart.
No,
So
no, no,
he's the
no.
head for that also. He
You.
won't take part in it, but he knows everything that happens inside.
So source is right next to me.
Yeah. So the name Inside Bullsmart comes from the root himself here. So do you also like to watch something when you're free in your leisure time, something on OTT?
Netflix.
Netflix? What's
The,
like your favorite genre? Crime documentaries?
yeah, it's kind of all. I mean, Game of Thrones
Where
kind
you
of
can, oh
series.
god, we have Game of Thrones, so he's not boring. That just proves we said one series name that millennials are crazy about, Game of Thrones. Okay, so we'll go back to our fun segment again, sir. So another question is, if you, okay, this one was my personal favorite. If you could travel back in time and give legal advice to any historical celebrity, who would it be and what would you tell them?
It depends on how much he will pay for me. So
Oh,
nothing
what?
comes with a free advice.
ये जेल में नहीं होता.
No, no, no. When it comes to giving advice, it depends on a kind of
Outrage.
consultation fees what we get. It depends on which celebrity and how much he is ready to pay and what kind of mess up he has done. It depends on all those things. So I don't want to
What?
go back
So
in
more
time.
fee, you could have taken murder charges also.
No,
Yeah, also to escape.
And we know you can do that. We have seen you giving us ideas that we never put into action. But yes, something to think about. Same question to you also, Charchita.
yeah, I think Charchita will.
Yeah, she has more ideas that way.
She is a fresher. Her fees may be less.
Yeah. So which celebrity?
Celebrity, I don't want to take that person name, otherwise I'll be in jail.
Very smartly.
But I think there was the escape idea we could have used in his case litigation. Like how we could have escaped. So, like,
There's no point because they aren't naming it, so we've lost the fun out of it. But okay, another question is, as the legal head of finance company, what is the wittiest argument that you have made? Or in general, also when you go out to meet the stakeholders or any other, board members, what is the most wittiest thing or the most weird thing that you saw happening and you were like, why is this even happening?
I mean, there are a lot of things which has happened. I
Name
cannot
one,
explain all those
name
things.
one. You could change the name. We would say it's just make up a name and then
I think Charchita will add to this point because
she has a lot of
she knows-
experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on this
One
kind of
experience, please.
okay, so I want to take the person name.
Give something, some data.
Okay, he's from finance. So one day, like Chandan asked for some compliance calendar. So he directly, like he has given the calendar and marking his dates on that. And if you see in a legal point of view, the compliance calendar are not made in a calendar way, like how it comes into date wise. He literally marked his date. So that was the funniest thing ever happened, like in front of me, and I was not knowing this has happened. And when he told me that this has happened, like, oh god. we can't like Bullsmart literally have some people who can go beyond the imagination.
You didn't have to take everything out.
That kind of innovation and talent
You can
still there.
literally explain in the most simplest thing also and in the most complicated way also. We have people like that.
But we have to agree, since most of the times everybody in Bullsmart is very lazy, so we, find out very creative ways and very innovative ways to do
No,
our
but
work.
they
So we
seems
are-
lazy, but when it comes to work, I mean,
Right.
they are the first one to complete all the
They
work.
come
So
from
that's-
creative.
yeah.
Charchita can relate. You have the live example in front of you. Okay, so this is the last question also. Before we end the session, we also want to know, because there are many legal jokes in the industry, in the law industry. Any wordplay or legal joke you have in mind, don't say this session, please. I've, I've heard this so many times. This can
I'm
come
not
from you
recalling.
also, Charchita.
I'm not recalling any joke. I mean, suddenly.
When you were studying law, any one law
Yeah, there are
joke?
lot of jokes are there, but it's not striking in my mind right now.
You tell, no?
Yeah.
You tell.
Simple thing like whenever comes to me and asks something and which I don't know, I say dismissed. You get dismissed. Like
What about
the legal way to get out from the argument or from the things which you get directly from like.
this is dismissed?
Okay.
Okay. So would you like to dismiss the session for our audience right now?
So guys.
Wait, let me just thank you.
No, I think it's going good. We don't want to dismiss this.
Finally, somebody enjoys it. So before we dismiss the session, before our legal team dismisses the session, I would really like to thank Chandan sir and
Thank you.
Charchita again for taking out your precious time on Friday and joining us this morning with us for Inside Bullsmart series. There were many questions about the legal team, and we're so glad that we, tried to answer some of them to our audience, so that they also know that how the legal side and the regulatory and compliance side of a finance company works. So thank you again for everybody who joined us, and keep tuned in with Bullsmart Stock Academy. We are coming back with more fun sessions. Absolutely. So sir, mic is all yours. You can discuss.
Thank you. Thanks for giving us an opportunity and taking a session with a legal team so that we can express our views and we can express
Yes.
our experiences. So
Thank you.
thanks for watching this
Ma'am.
session. Yeah.
So like if you want to see more of such videos,
Or more of Charchita.
please give me peace. I'll give you legal advice, legal jokes, everything which she has asked, and this is.
Yeah, you can also comment Charchita down there if you want to see her more in your videos. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Keep joining us. Thank you. Have a nice
Thank you.
day.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Joining us. Thank you. Have a nice
Thank you.
day.
Have a nice day. Bye bye. Done.
But it's ended, no?
So okay, this editing